they pronouns. I'll be one of your worship leaders today, along with my partner in fun, Jenn, Katon. If you are new and not familiar with the building or with us as a parish, please reach out to one of our greeters and they'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. As you might have guessed from my witchy finery, today is a special day here in First Parish. It's Samhain. For those of you who don't know what Samhain is, this is a holiday celebrating the final harvest, when the veil between worlds is at its thinnest. It is a time of remembrance, celebration, thanks, and preparation for the dark times ahead. Many cultures and faiths celebrate some form of remembrance this time of year. From Samhain, which has Celtic origins, to the Catholic All Souls Day, to Mexico's Dia de los Muertos, which is rooted in indigenous beliefs and ancestor veneration. This service, as are all of our services, is recorded thanks to our talented tech team. Because our services vary from week to week, we suggest that you come again to experience the variety of worship that we offer. If you are a visitor, please consider signing our guest book, so that way you can sign up for emails. As a reminder, the last 3 rows on the right side of the chapel, which is my left looking at you all, is a mask zone for those who wish to wear masks for whatever reason. So if you are in those 3 rows and on the right side of the chapel, we do ask that you wear a mask or move to a part of the chapel where you're not wearing a mask. Additionally, we encourage everyone to join in with singing, but we do ask that you wear a mask while singing because we are still dealing with COVID. On that note, Sandi did ask me to let you all know that she will be wearing a mask part-time throughout this service. It's not that she has COVID, she tested negative, but she is feeling a little under the weather and is going to be practicing social distancing. We are also going to be doing a costume parade and a procession through a veil, through the metaphorical and physical veils outside. Now, I know our costumes participants all look absolutely fantastic. They all look really, really cute and amazing. I just would like to ask everyone that if you're going to be posting on your own private social media, to please check with the person who is being photographed. If they are over the age of 18, if they are under the age of 18, please ask their trusted adult. With that, whoever you are, whomever you love, whatever you believe, wherever you are on your journey, let us walk together this hour. And now, a few words from our Reverend.
Good morning, everyone. This is the Reverend Arthur Lavoie, and I want to welcome everyone, but especially those people who are watching online, either on YouTube, Facebook, or one of the local public access TV stations. We want to thank you for being part of our First Parish community this morning, and let you know that if you're interested in getting more information, please visit our website, firstparishplymouthuu.org. You'll find information there about the congregation and ways of contacting us if you would like to speak to either our church administrator or to myself. A note to those of us who are here this morning, everybody needs to have a pencil and a little slip of paper that's tucked into your order of service. There are pencils on this table here and on the greeting table in the back of the congregation. I also want to let people know that we share this space with a Brazilian congregation that meets here 4 times a week. Because of that, the space is a little bit cluttered these days, and we recognize that that is a bit problematic, and we are working on ways of uncluttering the vestibule and this sanctuary space here in the chapel. Please bear with us while we make these arrangements. Thank you.
Our call to worship is a sounding blessing by again as we honor our ancestors in whose footsteps we tread. Life retreats into the bulbs and the roots. The time has passed for flowers and fruits. As leaves fall thick and carpet the ground, the dark mother awaits in silence profound. Now is the time for the apple feasts, when time stands still for humans and beasts, to seek the wisdom of days gone by, to deal with the past and let it lie. Face your shadow, set it free. Look now to the future and think on who you'll be. Our opening hymn today is number 389, Gathered Here. We ask that you rise and join us in singing. Please remember to wear a mask.
So we're doing this a cappella. I'll be masking because of my cold, except for the two special numbers, which I'll do from over there. I'll sing this once, and then you join in, and we'll do it a couple of times. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in the one strong body, gathered here in the struggle of the body. Spirit,
draw near.
Spirits of the West, element of water, keeper of the veil between the worlds, we ask that you lift the silvery realm of the veil, and we invite you into our sacred space to reveal our secrets of the coming year. We ask that you cleanse our hearts and open our souls to our watery energy. Welcome and blessed be.
Spirit of the South, element of fire, keeper of the flames that burn this night, to honor our loved ones, to keep the hearth warm, and to honor Hestia, goddess of the hearth. We invite you into our sacred space to warm our hearts and ignite our souls. Welcome and blessed be.
Spirits of the East, element of air, keeper of new ideas, home of the fairies and sprites, keeper of the wheel. We invite you to our sacred space this night to guide us in the coming year, to enlighten us with your insight. Welcome and blessed be.
With gusto.
Spirits of the North, element of the earth, keeper of all earthly elements. We invite you to our sacred space to guide us with your wisdom for the new year, to embrace us with your strength and open the gates of the underworld. Welcome and blessed be.
Big one. Big one. Can we have our chalice lighters? Please. You will find chalice laying and the order of service as an insert. A little bit different today. My papers are flying, so I've got a mask on my list. Okay. You will read the bold. We light this flame
as our fervent plea to brighten the dark corners of our hearts.
We hold this flame.
For in it is the promise of warmth for souls grown cold in loss and despair.
We kindle this light.
That we might continue to find comfort in its warmth, strength in its light, holiness in its presence.
We follow this light.
That it might illuminate our search for purpose, for meaning and forgiveness.
We light this chalice.
Knowing even as the sacred spark of life is extinguished in the ensuing darkness, its light, their light, will still burn bright with all the memory and hope of its all too brief flash across our lives.
We light this flame of life, of love,
and truth, the divine promise of healing hearts.
And now Deb will help us with the time for all ages.
Good morning. My name is Deb Keller-Wood, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers. I'm going to read you one of my favorite stories. It's called The Troll Tear. It was a sad time for Beth as she climbed the little hill behind her house. In her arms was her cat and friend, Smokey. Carefully wrapped in his favorite blanket, a little grave had already been dug on the hill, waiting for Smokey, because he had died that day. "Do you want me to go with you?" Beth's father asked. "No, I want to go by myself. I dug his grave outside next to McDougal's at the top of the hill. I want him next to McDougal." Beth stopped at the top of the hill and knelt beside the little grave. She carefully laid Smokey's blanket-wrapped form in the earth, and she covered it with dirt. She laid several large rocks on the top, and then she began to cry. And she cried, and she cried. "Oh, Smokey, I miss you so much." Beth looked up at the moon, tears streaming down her cheeks. "Why did you die?" "It was his time to rejoice with the mother," said a deep, gentle voice in the darkness. "Who said that?" Beth looked around but saw no one. "Dying is part of the cycle of life, you know." One of the boulders on the hill stirred into life. "Who are you?" The moonlight shone down on a little woman, and Beth could see she was not human. "I am a troll wife," said the creature as she came to sit across from Beth. "This is a sad night for both of us. I, too, came to this hill to bury a friend." The troll wife wiped a crystal tear from her cheek, and the squirrel was very, very old, she said. "Still, it makes me sad." Beth stared at the troll wife. The little woman was the color of rocks in moonlight. Her hair was like long strands of moss. Her eyes were bright like shining crystals, and she wore a dress woven of oak leaves and tree bark. "The squirrel and I lived together for a long time," said the troll wife. "We often talked to your cat when he was hunting for mice here on the hill. Smokey and I were friends. I shall miss him too." "But he's dead. It's not good. Why are you looking at him? Why do you think that you are his friend?" "Child, This is Samhain. Do you know the ancient secret of this sacred time of year? The troll wife motioned for Beth to come sit down beside her. It is true that our friends have gone into a world that we can no longer physically touch them, but the mother has given us other ways to communicate with them. We can do this anytime, but the time of Samhain is the easiest. I don't understand. How do you do this? Why is Samhain making it easier? Well, said the troll wife, at this time of year, the walls between the world and the world of souls and spirits is very thin. If we quiet ourselves and listen, we can hear our loved ones, and they can hear us. We talk, not in spoken words, but with our hearts and our minds. Isn't that just imagination? Beth said.
No.
Tears started to run down her face again. It's like my thinking I can feel McDougal get on my bed at night. I can't. He's not really there. Well, sometimes it's imagination, but sometimes it's not. Only our friends come to see us in their spirit bodies. The troll wife reached up her hand and patted something Beth couldn't see on her shoulder. Like my friend the raven. Beth looked hard and saw a thin form of hazy moonlight on the troll wife's shoulder. I've seen something like that at the foot of my bed where McDougal sleeps, or slept. She whispered, I thought I was dreaming. She jumped and something nudged her arm. When she looked down, nothing was there. The troll wife smiled. McDougal's here. Close your eyes and think of him. He has been waiting a long time for you to see him in this thin veil. Beth closed her eyes at once, and the form of her little dog appeared. His tail was wagging with happiness, and she felt a wave of love come over him. She sent him her love right back. Then she felt the dog lie down against her leg. What would happen if we stopped and closed our eyes and imagined an animal that we've lost, or a person? Can you feel their shoulder next to you, or their leg touching yours? I never thought of it that way when I thought of animals dying, Beth said. It's kind of like they moved away and we can only talk to them on the phone now, isn't it? It is that way with creatures, not just animals. The troll wife stood up and held out a hand to Beth. Will you join me, human girl? I buried my friend the squirrel this night, and I still must dance and sing to all my friends and ancestors who've gone on their journeys. This is our time to honor them. Beth joined the troll wife in an ancient, slow troll dance around the top of the little hill in the moonlight. She watched quietly while the troll wife called out troll words to the four directions, words that Beth couldn't understand. Deep in her heart, the girl felt the power of those strange words and knew they were given in honor and love by the little troll wife. When the troll wife was finished with her ritual, she hugged Beth. Go in peace, human child, she said, and remember what I have told you about the ancient secrets of Samhain. I will, Beth answered. Will I ever see you again? Whenever the moon is full, I will be here, said the little troll wife, and especially on Samhain.
On September 22nd, 1692, 8 people were hanged for their alleged crimes as witches. They were among 20 who were killed as a result of the hysteria that took place in the New England village of Salem, where fear of demonic possession struck panic among the Puritans. In Massachusetts in the late 1600s, a few young girls, including Elizabeth Parris, age 9, and Abigail Williams, age 11, claimed to be possessed by the devil and blamed local witches for their demons. This sent panic throughout the village of Salem and led to accusations of more than 200 local citizens over the next several months, including Dorothy Dorcas Good, who was by far the youngest accused at age 4. She spent 8 months in the prison's dungeon before being released, along with her mother, Sarah Good, who was later executed. Sometimes described as witch hunts, as also seen in Europe from the 1300s to 1700s, this hysteria resulted in the arrests of nearly 150 people, multiple court hearings, and the guilty convictions of dozens. Those found guilty were often chained to the walls in the prison's basement, known as the witch jail, a perpetually dark, cold, and wet dungeon infested with water rats. It is unknown exactly what brought about the mass hysteria in Salem in 1692. Some have theorized that the witch hunts were the result of personal vendettas or economic competition. Still others have suggested that the consumption of ergo-poisoned rye grain may have resulted in hallucinations and faulty thinking among the Puritans in New England. Whatever the case, the Salem witch trials and executions are universally declared as a shameful part of our history. The Puritans themselves recognized the errors of their ways and held a day of prayer on January 15, 1697, known as the Day of Official Humiliation, to plead with God for forgiveness. In 1702, the trials were declared unlawful. Proctor's Ledge Memorial reminds us of the appalling tragedies that took place beginning in 1692, including the false imprisonment and murder of innocents. Today, we say their names. Bridget Bishop, age 50. George Burroughs, former minister at Salem Village Church, age 42. Martha Carrier, age 33. Martha Corey, age 70. Giles Corey, age 70. Lydia Dustin, age 60s or 70s. Mary Easty, age 56. Ann Foster, age 70s. Sarah Good, age 38. Elizabeth Howe, age 50s. George Jacob Sr., age 80s. Susanna Martin, age 71. Rebecca Nurse, age 71. Sarah Osborne, age 40s. Alice Parker, age not known. Mary Parker, age 55. John Proctor, arrested April 11, 1692, age 60. His wife Elizabeth Proctor was condemned with him, but avoided hanging because she was pregnant, and the executions had ended by the time she gave birth. Anne Pediator, age 70. Wilmot Red, age 50s. Margaret Scott, age 77, Roger Toothaker, age 58, Samuel Wardell, age 49, Sarah Wilds, age 65, John Willard, age 20s. We say your names and we honor you today. Thank you again for being here this morning. Your presence and your commitment to First Parish in Plymouth are what keeps us all going on Sundays and throughout the year. We will now collect your financial offerings for the work and ministry of this congregation.
Shadowland, the leaves have fallen. This shadowland, this was our home. The river's dry.
My name is Jenn, Katon. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. To the ancient Celts, the year has two hinges. These are Beltane and Samhain, the 1st of May and the 1st of November, the traditional Celtic New Year. The Celtic people were in superstitious awe of liminal times and places and times in between. Holy sites were any border place. The shore between land and water, seas, lakes, and rivers, bridges, boundaries between territories, crossroads, and thresholds. Holy times were also border times, twilight and dawn, marking the transition of day and night, Beltane and Samhain, marking the transitions of summer and winter. Read your myths and fairy tales, look for which stories occur at such places and at such times. You'll find there are many. Dark and mysterious, Samhain is a threshold, a time when the veil is thin, when we may peek beyond it, remember our loved ones past, and take stock as it is traditionally the final harvest of the year. At Beltane this year, you brought your seeds for us to bless. Did you plant them? How did it go? It was a challenging year for gardens with the heat and drought. Did any of your seedlings grow and thrive? And what did you do to nurture them? My newer plants struggled. Some didn't make it. The older ones with deeper taproots could withstand the lack of water and baking sun. It's like that for us sometimes during these times of the COVID pandemic and other stressors, political, social, environmental. Some of us, most of us probably, have too much stress to grow as we may like. And we are reminded it's okay to not be okay or just get along during these difficult times. And it is. But we can also find surprising growth under these conditions too. New opportunities born of the new normal. And there is always next spring to try again. Our family has been going through tremendous growing pains. There is so much to be thankful for. Both kids have moved out and are finding their ways to adulthood. Cheryl's transition and new career has her blossoming in so many ways, learning so much about what her most authentic self is. I've used creative writing as an outlet, as a comfort, and to process these growing pains. I haven't written in years, and I've spent more than a year now falling in love with telling stories and making friends with an making friends in an online writer circle. Nothing I had planned or had expected. It's the daisy in the crack in the sidewalk. A surprise flower that blooms in your yard or vegetable patch. Some people call them weeds, I call them volunteers. What new fruits are ready to reap this Samhain, to harvest and to give thanks for it? And as the wheels turn, we can think about what worked and what didn't. Is there something that didn't and you want to try again or not? This isn't failure, this is just more information. If we think of the things we want to learn or do as seeds, we can discover and care for these seeds for the year and create the best conditions to plant and grow them deep within ourselves, just like a garden. Knowing a little more about the things that made the first time around not work out. The living trees, leaves of the trees have gone red, yellow, brown, and orange. One last gift before they let them loose and drop them to the ground where they die and decay. Those beautiful green bright sprouts from spring, full of hope and promise, have lived their whole lives. Grown large, gathering the sustenance to bear fruit and then pass. First, like the leaves falling off the trees, we must learn to let go of whatever we no longer need or is no longer helpful and gather the sustenance and energy that they've taken up and grow new leaves in the spring. And before what seed will I plant, we might ask, how can we prepare, especially in a more challenging world? In the dark of the changing season, we have the opportunity to pause and reflect deeply on what conditions keep our seeds from germination, from growing. And what do we need to clear away? Then what will enable us to germinate the seed of our new intentions for the coming year? Just like the trees that let their leaves, let them fall away. We don't need them anymore. With deep thinking, dreaming, and meditation, with walks in nature, listening to it, and allowing it to speak, you will know. Take a moment now to write on your blank sheet something you would like to say goodbye to, what leaves you'd like to let go, and something you want to nurture, what seed you might plant. We will take peace, the solemn fire to burn. You should have a sheet in your order of service. It's a little cap sheet. As the days grow so short and cold and and the cold bare winter marches on, causing life to fade and die, it's no wonder the ancients taught us that from the autumn equinox to the winter solstice, the veil between the world of the living and the dead bends so. And at Samhain, it's at its thinnest. When they may speak to their dead and remember in story and song. Today we gather as the days darken and get colder. We turn inward into our communities, into our homes, into our families, into ourselves. We tell stories and remember what's most important to us. We reflect and celebrate. We enter into the warm sanctuary of darkness that can hold us like a blanket. We have no need to fear. This year has waxed with the fullness of life and now wanes into shadow. Our souls take rest in the dark as the wheel of the seasons makes its final turn.
Take time to honor those you have named and to celebrate their lives. Hold those memories in your mind, memories that you cherish. Think of how they have touched your lives. Feel their presence in this hollowed circle. I'm going to move before the podium, that way you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Take your yarn or your pipe cleaners and very slowly twine them together. You can twist them, or you can braid them, or tie knots, whatever you wish to do. If you do choose knots, tie at least 3. 3 is a sacred number. If you wish to do more than 3 knots, do it in multiples of 3. 6, 9, or if you are particularly skilled, maybe 12. And if you do have pipe cleaners, it would be perhaps easiest to braid or twist them. Most importantly, weave your love into the material. Hold it between your fingers when you're done, and send your energy to our beloved dead. They will feel the warmth. Now I will recite a chant, and feel free to join me in it. I will repeat it 3 times. Mother of darkness, these names we share, of those we love now in your care. Guide them gently with love so sweet, resting blessed until we meet. Mother of darkness, of those names we share, of those we love now in your care. Guide them gently with love so sweet, resting blessed until we meet. Mother of darkness, these names we share, of those we love now in your care. Guide them gently with love so sweet, resting blessed until we meet. Once you are done braiding or twisting, please come and place your yarn on our table. Please come up row by row in order to keep it organized. Not to look like a stewardess, but exit your row, come forward, and then if possible, please circle back around. The year has waxed with the fullness of life and now wanes into shadow. Our souls will take rest in the dark as the wheel of the seasons turn and makes its final cycle. Take time to contemplate the dark months ahead and how it can be a time of renewal for you. Once you are ready, please process upwards, and then please return back using the directions I gave earlier. And then rather that message that you took that you wrote earlier, you hold that in your hands. Think about what you wish the future to bring in the spring. ancient and enduring one. Guide us. Watch over us and our loved ones, both here and departed. We stand at this gateway with you and thank you for your gifts of this final harvest. Blessed be. Our closing hymn is We Are a Circle.
So this is also a cappella. I'll do the chorus once, and then you can join me. And you're welcome to sing the verses. They're a little different, or I'll just do them. Whatever happens, happens. So here's the chorus. We are a circle within a circle, with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle, with no beginning and never ending. You hear us sing, you hear us cry, now hear us call you, spirits of air and sky. We are a circle within a circle, with no beginning and never ending. Inside our heart there glows a star. The land desire, a burning fire. We are a circle within a circle, with no beginning and never ending. Within our blood, within our tears, there lies the altar of living water. We are a circle within a